Shalom, family. Once again, I thank you for joining me as we go through the Word of the Most High. Today, family, we'll talk about a subject that's pretty much taboo to most people, and that's having faith and the fear of physical death. You know, a lot of people, when you start talking about dying and physical death, uh, they pretty much get away from you. Most people can't even fathom the thought of dying because basically they have a fear of it, and it shouldn't be that way because it's inevitable, at some point. So, uh, if you are living according to the Most High's ways and have made your peace with death, knowing that it could happen, short of Mashiach returning before that happens, then you have to put your mind at ease about that subject and not fear it. Fear of dying normally happens to people who don't believe or don't know the Most High, and unbelievers who think after this physical existence that it's nothing else. Once you leave it, that's the end. There's no resurrection, there's nothing, And people generally are afraid of the unknown. But as believers, we know the known. We know what's going to happen if you're truly a believer, and that's resurrection. You shall live again. So let's start off with a couple of scriptures. Let's go to Job, chapter 3, verse 25. And it says, "The thing which I greatly feared is come upon me, and that which I was afraid of is come unto me." See, you can't go through life fearing death. That's probably one way to get it to come upon you, that fear. And this is the thing, that fear is what the world use to get you to do anything they want. Even during, shall I say, that pestilence, a lot of people lived in fear, and then they sought out solutions that man made. And I don't have to say what, you know what, okay? Without even going there. And instead of trusting in the Most High to sustain your life, folks, He's in control. You're not going to leave here 1 millisecond past your appointed time. You also are not going to stay here 1 millisecond past your time. All right? The Most High is in control. Matthew chapter 6, verse 27. It says, "Which of you, by taking thought, can add 1 cubit unto his stature?" In other words, extend your our life for 1 second. That's what that word statue means. You can worry all you want to. That's not going to change anything. So why live in your life in fear? You know, when you accept that it's appointed to men to die, then you're no longer living in fear, and you're kind of hard to control. See, the world, everything it does is fear-based. Anything they want done, they create fear. And if you don't trust in the Most High, then you're going to do whatever they say. People can get you to do anything if you're scared, man. If you're living in fear. You know. Let's look at Mark chapter 4, verse 37 through 41. And this is when the disciples were with Mashiach in the boat. Now, granted, they've been with him all this time prior to that. You know, they've seen him cast out demons, heal people, everything. But yet, they lived in fear. Mark chapter 4, verse 37 through 41. And there arose a great storm of wind, and the waves beat into the ship, so that it was now full. And he was in the hinder part of the ship, meaning Mashiach, asleep on a pillow. And they wake him up and say unto him, Master, carest now thou not that we perish? And he arose and rebuked the wind, and said unto the sea, Peace, be still. And the wind ceased, and there was a great calm. And he said unto them, Why are you so fearful? How is it that you have no faith? And they feared exceedingly, and said one to another, What manner of man is this, that even the wind and the sea obey him? Now, they've been with him. They've seen all kind of miracles he's done, raised the dead, everything else. And yet, because a storm come up, they forgot all about that. And here there is the creator of all that exists in the world was with him in the boat. They shouldn't have feared nothing. Okay? But they did. And sometimes us as believers, we forget the things that Mashiach has done in your life that you shouldn't be afraid. How many times he's bailed you out or delivered you from something, evil or dangerous. Hebrews chapter 9, verse 27. And as it is appointed to men once to die, but after this, the judgment. See, it's appointed to you. You know, from the time that when you was in the womb, you know, the Most High is in control. Let's look at a analogy of faith. Mashiach always taught in parables. He took real life situations in the world and turn them into a spiritual lesson. So let's do the same thing, okay? Let's just do an analogy of the physical realm and the spiritual realm. When we plant seed in the ground, when the seed is covered by dirt, you can't see the seed as it is. As it begins to grow and manifest. When we plant a seed of faith in the spiritual realm, it is also covered. Just like you can't, after you bury that seed, you can't see it no more because it's covered up by the earth. And you can't see through the earth. So in the same manner, when you plant a seed of faith or a request to the Most High in prayer, you can't see into the spiritual realm where it takes place. You can't see your prayer being manifested, as your prayer begins to manifest itself. Although, you covered the seed and you can't see it, you don't stop watering the spot in the earth where you put it. We just wait until the physical of its manifestation pops up through the earth. Same way with the spiritual realm. We can't see into the spiritual realm where we planted our seed of faith or prayer. We just wait on the physical manifestation, folks. We don't quit praying because we can't see it, just like you wouldn't quit watering the spot where you planted that seed in the earth. You continue to water that spot. We just wait on the physical manifestation of our prayers to manifest themselves in the physical earth. All right? But you don't quit watering your seed of faith or prayers in the spiritual realm. Now, I know a lot of people think, well, once you pray for something, you shouldn't have to keep praying about it. That shows a lack of faith. No, it really don't. It just shows you believe what you praying for, and you pray without ceasing. There's nobody that's going to keep praying for something that they don't believe will happen. So apparently you believe it's going to happen. You just keep putting it before the Most High. And that's okay. Let's see. Let's go to Luke chapter 18, verse 1 through 7. Okay? And he spake a parable unto them to this end, that men always to pray and not to faint, saying, there was in a city a judge, which feared not the Most High, neither regarded man. And there was a widow in that city, and she came unto him, saying, avenge me of my adversary. And he would not for a while, but afterward he said within himself, though I fear not the Most High, nor regard man, yet because this widow troubles me, I will avenge her, lest by her continual coming she weary me. And the Most High said, hear what the unjust judge said. And shall not the Most High avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with them? See, he's saying, this woman in this parable, she just kept going to him until he granted what she was looking for. Okay? And so we do likewise in prayer to the Most High. Until you see your prayer answered or manifested. You don't give up because you don't see nothing happening right then. You just are persistent in prayer. Okay? Let's see. Our people, when we were in bondage in Egypt, you think they prayed once for the Most High to deliver them? No, that was over a long period of time, but they just kept doing it, man. Exodus chapter 3, verse 7 and 8. And the Most High said, I have surely seen the affliction of my people which are in Egypt, and have heard their cry by reason of their taskmasters. For I know their sorrow, and I am come down to deliver them out of the hand of the Egyptians, and to bring them up out of that land unto a good land and a large, and unto a land flowing with milk and honey, unto the place of the Canaanites and the Hittites and the Amorites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites. See, they didn't, you think they only prayed once out of that whole time? No, they getting beat on and made to work. They was probably praying every night. They didn't give up. They just kept praying without ceasing. Okay? And that's what we have to do, man. All right, let's see. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 16. I guess we go down from maybe 16 to 19. It says, rejoice evermore, pray without ceasing, in everything give thanks, for this is the will of Yah in Yahusha concerning you. Verse 19, quench not the spirit. So don't quench the spirit. Keep praying. Keep praying. In due season, your prayer will manifest itself in the earth where you can see it. Okay? Job chapter 14, verse 1. A man that is born of a woman is of a few days and full of trouble. See, just listen to what Job is saying. He said a man born of a woman, he's of a few days. I mean, we don't live 1,000 years, you know. The amount of years that we live is just like a little vapor or something. Job 14 and 5 says, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. See, your days are already determined. I mean, you're not going to pass the bounds of it. Job 14, verse 15, and 13 through 15, sorry. Oh, that thou wouldest hide me in the grave, that thou wouldest keep me secret until thy wrath be past, that thou wouldest appoint me a set time and remember me. And if a man die, shall he live again? All the days of my appointed time will I wait till my change come. Thou shalt call, and I will answer thee. Thou shalt have a desire to do the work of thine hands. See, it's just going to happen, family, short of Mashiach coming. Okay, before your physical death. Let's see where we need to go now. 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 6. The Most High kills and maketh alive. He bring it down to the grave and bring it up. See, listen, family, it's no such thing as a coincidence and luck and all that. That's the term that people who don't know the Most High believe in. Have you ever went somewhere or were on the way to some place, and all of a sudden, en route, you change your mind and decide to go to another place instead, like a store, only to find out that if you had went to that store, you probably would have been involved in some kind of mass shooting or something. And most people will contribute that to luck. No, that wasn't luck. Because if you are a believer of the Most High, it ain't no luck. What he did was put the thought in your mind to go somewhere else. He was shielding you from what could have been fatal, okay, or deadly. But a lot of people don't get the Most High credit for that. They rather think that they are the ones that did it. No, the Most High Spirit was protecting you from harm. This is why you changed your mind. Got nothing to do with no luck or coincidence, okay? Don't exist. Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 39. See now that I, even I, am He, and there is no Elohim with me. I kill, and I make alive. I wound, and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. See, the Most High is in control, you know. A person can tell you all day long what they're going to do to you, or they're going to kill you and all that. Not if it's against the Most High will, they won't. You know, we hear all the time, and I know that many of you probably got family or friends that was terminally ill, and the doctors set a date. Oh, well, he got about 6 weeks or a couple of months to live. Well, that authority is not in his hand. Because I know you've heard of people being declared clinically dead, and they went too far as putting a sheet over their head. And all of a sudden, they started moving up under the sheet because the Most High brought them back. There's people been given 6 months to live that's lived another 10 years. See, life and death, physical death and spiritual death, is in the hands of the Most High, not man. James chapter 4, verse 13 through 15. Go to now, ye that say, today or tomorrow we will go into such a city, and continue there a year, and buy and sell, and get gain. In other words, get rich. Whereas you know not what shall be on the morrow. For what is your life? It is even a vapor that appears for a little time and then vanishes away. Verse 15, for that you ought to say, if the Most High will, we shall live and do this or that. See, family, the first thing you should do in the morning, soon as your eyes pop open, is praise and thank the Most High for another day. Don't even start your day without that. Do not take that life for granted. That you're going to be here tomorrow or the next week to do this and that. Always give Most High credit. If the Most High will, next week, we'll do this or that. You don't take that for granted, family. Ever. What's this? Proverbs chapter 27, verse 1. Boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth. See, you know, that's common sense, family. You know, I mean, the Most High is going to take care of his people, family. And if it's not his will to die from some pestilence or disease that the world brings forth that tends to make people afraid, you're not going to die from it. You might die from something else, but it won't be that. See, the Most High is in control. You know, when I was a teenager, and we were standing out in front of the movie theater, a friend of mine got into an argument with another guy, and the guy pulled out a .38 and hit him square in the heart. People, dead center. He was rushed to the hospital, and the doctors decided that they wouldn't remove the bullet because they think it would did more harm than good. They left it in there. Do you know he lived another 20 or 25 years after that with no ill effects of being shot in the heart? He was still walking and talking and running and everything else, even though it was that guy's intention to kill him. It was against the Most High's will. His appointed time hadn't came. So man can only do what the Most High allows, family. That's why you shouldn't fear physical death. And he has the power to extend people's lives if he wants to. Okay. Let's look at a few instances of that. Let's look at what happened with Hezekiah when he was dying. Verse 1. In those days was Hezekiah sick unto death, and the prophet Isaiah, the son of Amos, came to him and said unto him, Thus said the Most High, Yet set your house in order, for thou shalt die and not live. So Isaiah done told him, get your things in order, because you're about to die. Then he turned his face to the wall and prayed unto the Most High, saying, I beseech thee, O Elohim, remember now how I have walked before thee in truth and with a perfect heart, and have done that which is good in thy sight. And Hezekiah wept sore. And it came to pass, before Isaiah was gone out into the middle court, that the word of the Most High came to him, saying, Turn again, and tell Hezekiah, the captain of my people, Thus said the Most High, the Elohim of David thy father, I have heard thy prayer, and I have seen thy tears. Behold, I will heal thee. On the third day thou shalt go up unto the house of the Most High, and I will add unto thy days 15 years. And I will deliver thee and this city out of the hand of the king of Assyria, and I will defend this city for mine own sake, and for my servant David's sake. And Isaiah said, take a lump of figs. And they took and laid it on the boil, and he recovered. And Hezekiah said unto Isaiah, what shall be the sign that the Most High will heal me, and that I shall go up into the house of the Most High the third day? So as Hezekiah is asking for a sign, he's going, what's going to be the sign that he's going to do this? And Isaiah said, this sign shall thou have of the Most High, that the Most High will do the thing that he has spoken. Shall the shadow go forward 10 degrees or go back 10 degrees? And Hezekiah answered, he said, it's a light thing for the shadow to go down 10 degrees, but let the shadow return backward 10 degrees. In other words, on the sundial, it would be natural for it to, to go down. He said, no, but let it go backward then. And Isaiah, the prophet, cried unto the Most High, and he brought the shadow 10 degrees backward, by which it had gone down in the dial of Ahaz. See, now he was dying, but the Most High honored his prayer and gave him 15 more years. See, no man can tell you, family, how long you're going to live. That's totally in the Most High's hands. There's not a man alive that can extend your life one day. Now, I know we always give the doctors credit, but it's really the Most High. He gives the doctors instructions as how to treat you. Okay, give them the necessary ideas to help you. But all in all, family, it's the Most High, not the doctor. It's the Most High working through the doctors. Okay, that's who's doing the healing. It's just too many instances where the Most High has raised people from the dead. A lot of people really in the scripture, they only think about Lazarus. It was a lot more than Lazarus that he did that to, showing you the power of the Most High of life and death. Let's look at a few of them, okay? This is John chapter 11. I believe it's 30, verse 38 and 39 and 40. Now, let's go 38 through 44. And Mashiach, therefore again groaning in himself, come to the grave. It was a cave, and a stone lay upon it. And Mashiach said, take you away the stone. Martha, the sister of him that was dead, said unto him, Master, by this time he stinks, for he has been dead 4 days. See, Martha said, well, by now he's been dead for 4 days. Okay. Verse 40, Mashiach said unto her, I said not unto thee that if thou would believe that thou should see the glory of the Most High? Then they took away the stone from the place where the dead was laid. And Mashiach lifted up his eyes and said, Father, I thank thee that thou hast heard me, and I know that thou hearest me always, but because of the people which stand by, I said it, that they may believe that thou hast heard me, and sent me. And when he thus had spoken, he cried with a loud voice, Lazarus, come forth. And he that was dead came forth, bound hand and foot with grave clothes, and his face was bound about with a napkin. Mashiach said unto them, Loose him, and let him go. Now, he's been dead physically dead, family, for 4 days. Yet, the power of life and death is in the Most High's hands. Didn't matter. Let's look at another one. Let's go to Matthew chapter 9, verse 24 through 26. This is when a young lady was dead. He said unto them, Give thanks, for the maid is not dead, but sleep. And they laughed him to scorn. But when the people were put forth, he went in and took her by the hand. And the maid arose, and the fame thereof went abroad into all that land. See, they are laughing and mocking Marshall when he said, well, she's just asleep. You know, they mocked him for that and laughing until she came out of there, you know. So Lazarus was not nearly the one that was raised from the dead. Let's go to 1 Kings chapter 17, verses 17 through 24. And it came to pass after these things that the son of the woman, the mistress of the house, fell sick, and his sickness was so sore that there was no breath left in him. This is when Elijah went to that woman, and she made him a cake from the little flour that she had left. Verse 18 said, And she said unto Elijah, What have I to do with thee, O thou man of Elohim? Art thou come unto me to call my sin to remembrance, and to slay my son? Verse 19, And he said unto her, Give me thy son. And he took him out of her bosom, and carried him up into the loft where he abode, and laid him upon his own bed. And he said unto the Most High, and said, O Elohim, hast thou also brought evil upon the widow with whom I sojourn, by slaying her son? And he stretched himself upon the child 3 times, and cried unto the Most High, and said, O Elohim, I pray thee, let this child's soul come into him again. And the Most High heard the voice of Elijah, and the soul of the child came into him again, and he revived. See, the Most High's power, honoring the request of Elijah, his servant. Now let's look at another. Luke chapter 7, verse 12 through 15. Now when he came nigh unto the gate of the city, behold, there was a dead man carried out, the only son of his mother, and she was a widow, and much people of the city was with her. And when the Most High saw her, he had compassion on her, and said unto her, Weep not. And he came and touched the bier, which is the box or casket, and they that bare him stood still. And he said, Young man, I say unto thee, arise. And he that was dead sat up and began to speak. And he delivered him to his mother. So it's many times that people were raised by Mashiach under Most High. You know, we just see it over and over again, because who is the power of life and death? Who has that power and control of it? Yahuwah. That's who, not man. You know, let's look at another example where Mashiach had the power for somebody to stay here, you know, longer than most people. And this was concerning the disciples. And this was Peter asking the Most High something about John. John chapter 13, verse 25 through 27. He then lying on Mashiach's breast said unto him, Lord, who is it? He was asking who was going to betray him. And Mashiach answered, He it is whom I shall give a sop, and when I have dipped it. And when he had dipped the sop, he gave it to Judas Iscariot, the son of Simon. And after the sop, Satan entered into him. Then Mashiach said unto him, That thou doest, do it quickly. See, a lot of people take the verses in John 21 that it was John that was going to be betrayed to Mashiach, because he also, him and Peter both laid their head on Mashiach's chest. But it was neither one of them. It was Judas. He didn't lay his head on his chest. Mashiach said, the one that I give the sop to. You know, in other words, the bread, and you dip it in what they were drinking. Let's go to John 21, verse 20 through 24. Then Peter turned about, seeing the disciple whom Mashiach loved following, which also leaned on his breast at supper, and said, Yahusha, which is he that betrays thee? Peter, seeing him, said to Mashiach, and what shall this man do? See, now Peter getting off in to somebody else's business. And Mashiach had to correct him. And Mashiach said unto him, if I will that he tarry until I come, what is that to you? Follow thou me. Verse 23 says, and then went this saying abroad among the brethren, that the disciple should not die. Yet Mashiach said not unto him, he shall not die, but if he will that he carry till I come, what is that to you? And we all know that John was the only disciple that was not martyred. He was exiled to Patmos. And this is when Mashiach gave him the revelation. Okay? But Mashiach have not returned yet. So that means John eventually died. But he was just letting Peter know, if I will that he do still be here when I return, what is that to you? I mean, what business is that to you? You go do what you supposed to do. Don't worry about John. See, sometimes we most have other people to do things that we curious about, we want to get in their business. Well, why is he this and he's that, and why you do this for him? That's not your business. You know, that's not your business. The Most High has different things for all of us to do. And what is that to you? You know? But all in all, family, we cannot live our lives in fear of physical death. That is going to happen, short of Mashiach coming before it happens. You know, the hairs on your head are even numbered. You know, it's just that simple. And most churches or pastors don't even want to touch it. You know, most people, you go to talking to them about death and that, man, they'll run from you. You know, like you got the plague or something. Oh, I don't want to hear nothing about dying. Well, you might well hear it. You're going to die sooner or later. So, you know, once you make peace with it, you remaining in faith in the Most High, what have you got to fear? Because that's not the end. Okay? You shall live again. You know, this is not the end of it. So we shouldn't be worrying about man and what he does and what he say he gonna do to you and all. He's not gonna do nothing that the Most High don't allow. And that's just a fact. He can do nothing if it is not in the will of the Most High. And when you lose that fear of man, then you're free. They can't frighten you because you know where the real power is. And it's not within man. People can say all they want to say about what they're going to do to you or threaten you and all. They're not going to do it if it's not in the Most High's will. Like I say, the Most High already knows our days, family, and the manner in which we're going to leave here. And if it ain't behind gunshots or some kind of pestilence or disease, then that's not the way it's going to happen. Okay? Only He knows that, not man. All right? So, it's just a little reminder, family, of where the real power is, and we do not have to be walking around in fear, because when you turn on your TV, everything in there is based on fear. That's how you control people. It's always been that way. You want people to do something, create a situation that'll make them afraid, and they'll run to you for solutions. And I know a lot of people, when that so-called pestilence came, they lived in fear and went to man for the answers, when they should have been seeking the Most High. Okay? And just anytime you turn on your TV, I don't care what program you're watching, what movie you're watching, when the commercials come on, it's always about some drug for this and that and this and that, and and up under that drug, it's got about 15 side effects that's worse than what you got. But people live in fear. They come up with something every day. I mean, diseases we ain't never heard of. And they already got a pill for it. Okay? And so I hate it when they say, ask your doctor, is this right for you? How do we know? He ain't never took it. Everybody's different. What might harm me may not harm you, and vice versa. So how are you going to go and ask your doctor, well, is this medication right for me? He don't know. He ain't never took it. It's crazy how they do that. But that's neither here or there, family. All I'm saying is make your peace with it, with death. It's a possibility that, you're going to die at some point. Like I say, short of Mashiach returning while you're alive. It's the only way that you'll escape physical death, but you'll be changed instantly. Okay? That's why Paul say, we shall all not sleep, but we all will be changed. So short of that happening, family, at some point, you go into the grave. And once you realize that and make peace with that, you can be free to live your life without fear of anything, especially man. Okay? All right, family, I hope that helps somebody get out of that fear of physical death and remain in faith. All right? So till next time, shalom.